Hello everyone and welcome back to Royalty Soaps. Today is the final autumnal soap. It is also October 18th, so that means that tonight, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, all of these soaps will be going live in our brand new online store. If you're interested in purchasing any of them, you can go to royaltysoaps.com and pick them up. I suggest that you move very, very quickly and that you get there at 8 p.m. exactly, because I do expect for these to sell out quickly. We are making Harvest Cornucopia today. It has a ton of embeds. This is a high top soap and I think the inside is going to be really pretty. So I've blended up my oils here, so now I'm just going to pour my lye water solution into them. Now that everything is all blended, I'm going to pour off some soap mixture into these 4 little containers here. In this one I have raspberry red mica. In this one I have, I think it's just green vibrance mica. In this one I have black pearl, and in this one I have orange vibrance with a little tiny bit of orange neon. All of these colors can be purchased at Nurture Soap Supply. And I'm just going to pour off about this much. I'm not going to fill it all the way up to the top. These accent colors, I hope, are going to be very thin. The fragrance oil blend that I'm using today is a proprietary blend. I created it with 4 different fragrance oils, all of which do not accelerate trace to my knowledge. I've worked with 3 of the 4 of them, so I hope that I have enough time to do some really pretty swirls with this soap. To the large bucket I have added titanium dioxide. I'm going to mix that one up last because that one thickens up my soap batter quite a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with this lightest color here, and we're going to blend up all these colors first. Now I am going to do my best to scrape off as much soap batter as I can from my stick blender because the next color that I'm blending up is white. The colors that I'm putting on the inside of the soap match the colors of the embeds that are going to be on top of the soap. So I'm going to mix these up a little bit more with my spatula here, just to make sure that any mica that got left over gets fully incorporated. Then I'm going to mix up the white in the bucket, put the fragrance oil in, and we'll start pouring into the mold. So I've changed my mind a little bit on how I am going to incorporate these colors. I'm going to put a good bit of green on the bottom because I've noticed whenever I do lots of drop swirls that the white tends to be on the bottom the most. So this green has thickened up a little bit more than everything else. So I'm actually going to put that on the bottom just kind of as a base color. I'll still leave a little bit of green in this container here so that I can add it to the very top of the soap. Now I'm going to add a lot of white. I mean a lot. We're going to fill it up probably more than halfway with this white here. All the way in, just like this. Not leaving a lot left. Then I'm going to pour some of this black, just like so. Then some of the orange. I'm going to put a lot of the orange on this side because this side's a little shorter. And then the raspberry color right here. Now I'm going to scrape these out super duper quick and plop them on top. I've also decided that I'm going to put a hanger through it because while I expected these soaps to remain a little bit more liquidy, they have set up faster, which makes a perfect situation to put a hanger swirl through it. It's been a long time since I had a thick hanger swirl, so that's what I'm going to do. Pop the rest of this in here. Again, I'll probably leave some for the top just so that I don't have to spend a lot of time scraping and can move right to the swirl. Smack a little of this on top. Because there's both black and orange in this soap, it would be perfect for Halloween as well. Okay, so I'm gonna have to tap these down on the floor, I think, to get them to be any sort of stirrable, because They are really, really thick. Gosh. Well, this just happens sometimes. Every single batch is different. Just goes to show. I went ahead and put the hanger through it already. I had to really beat those down on the ground. So now I'm going to go back to every single bucket, scrape them out super good, and then I'm going to smooth down these tops so that all the bars are a little closer to the same size. Then I'll bring you back for the piping and the embeds. Okay, so I have my Royalty Soaps piping set right here with the large closed star tip, and I'm just gonna pipe right here on the top. So as you can see, this top, once I smushed it all around, kind of looks like a modern art painting. So I'm just going to cover that up. I think for one of the flat top soaps, that's what we decided to call them, by the way, were flat top soaps. I think I should do that for one of them because it really is so pretty. So I'm just going to pipe 3 across. This is at the absolute most perfect consistency. Even after doing soap all of these years, sometimes it's still difficult for me to get the perfect piping consistency. Sometimes it's too runny, other times it's a little too thick, so it doesn't come out as easy. There's just, you know, it's just one of those things that is kind of hard to perfect every single time. So I'm just gonna finish this up right here. Caleb is holding my baby in the other room, and she is sad because she's kind of hungry, but I have to finish piping this. So I'm going to hurry up and go as fast as humanly possible. Righto, so now it is time to put the embeds in. I'm going to start with these embeds that I used for one of my other fall soaps. These are some pears here, so I'm gonna stick them on the end pieces because I'm gonna chop the end pieces off with my bud cutter and not the one from Nurture Soap, because I think that with all of the bulky embeds that I'm going to be using, it's just going to be more precise. The rest, I'm going to kind of distribute randomly. I will probably have to put them on top because they are such a large embed. And it could be that I have to cut up this entire soap with my bud cutter, but hopefully I can cut some of it. Well, actually, no, I just remembered the pears are too tall. So yes, we're gonna have to cut these into individual bars with that, but it's gonna be worth it because the soap is gonna be so gorgeous. Now it's time to put the little apples on here. Caleb actually got like the perfect color for... Hey, I'm making a soap video. Let me call you back when I feed the baby. Can I do that? Yeah, okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. My dear mama just called me. Anyway, Caleb got the perfect red delicious apple color here, so I'm just gonna stick these in. Every soap is going to be different for this batch. It's going to be a very unique creation. Now I'm gonna take these orange slices here. We're gonna stick some of those in. I'm gonna try to stick them in the soaps that actually don't have an embed in them yet. And then I can stick the other two in some of the ones that do have an embed in them. Now I have some blackberry embeds and some raspberry embeds, and we're just going to kind of place these wherever there's room for them all over the place here. And then I have some final blueberry embeds, oops, I dropped one, that need to be placed in as well. And you know what? My baby is just crying too much. I can no longer ignore the cries of the small one. So I'm actually going to have Caleb finish this soap, I think. I don't think he's ever finished one of my cold process soaps for me. He has cut them before, but he's never finished them. But I'm just gonna have him come in here and stick the rest of the embeds in. Well, I think he did an absolutely marvelous job. So this is what the Harvest Cornucopia looks like in the mold. And we will be back in 18 to 24 hours to cut up these bars. We got back the next day to cut this soap, and I'm going to have to slice up a few of the embeds because otherwise I will end up with some really gigantic bars and some really skinny bars. But I did cut this first part already. So that's what it looks like on the inside. You can barely see the green on that bar. On certain bars you can see it really well, and on others you can't. I've made a little mark on my bud cutter of where I need to be cutting my soap here. This one I'm only chopping some berries, and I do have to be really careful because melt and pour embeds on the top can really mess up your cut if you don't watch it and you aren't careful, because you can slice right through them and it will like pull the whole melt and pour embed right off the soap and then make a big smeary mess, and it just doesn't look very good. So if you are cutting through melt and pour embeds, be super careful. Pull down gently. See, I support the little embeds on the side there. Ooh, the green made it all the way to the top on that one. These soaps are gigantic. They are really heavy. They're like anywhere between 7.5 and about 9 ounces. Oh, some of that apple had to get whacked off. Oopsie. The swirl on the inside, I personally think looks super, super cool. It does kind of remind me of Halloween. I think it's the black and the orange. Look, he had his little stem whacked off. Ooh, look at that one. Now, if you want to know where I got all these embed molds, I'll try to leave a link to most of them down below. I know some of them have been discontinued from certain suppliers, but I will do my best to find them for you. Like I said, I won't be able to leave a link to all of them for various reasons, but I specifically can't do it for the orange mold because I made that one myself. Where's my question of the day, Gargoyle? I can't believe we're already on the final autumnal soap, and now we're moving on to bigger and greater things, namely Christmas items. I just realized that I'm cutting all these pears and apples backwards. Let me turn this around. I'm already down to like the last quarter of the loaf, and I'm just now realizing that. Whoa, that's a lot of red in that one. Aw, this little pear had its little fat belly chopped off. Hub Tub, I'm on the last 2 bars. You've got to hurry.
I got it.
Come hither.
Would you rather become twice as strong only when both of your fingers are stuck in your ears, or be able to crawl twice as fast as you can run?
What? What? Hold on. Only when your fingers are... What would that profit you if you can't use your arms? Who cares about being strong when you can't use your hands? Also, that's hecka creepy to run, to crawl that fast. Like, that's like Gollum if he like had 4 energy drinks.
Well, I think this is a clear-cut winner.
What?
Of course, you gotta choose crawl.
Yeah, and it's not like that wouldn't be scary, because it totally would. If you would like to answer the question of the day, please click the I in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. That is where the poll is going to be. If anyone else picks anything other than crawling really fast, then I don't know, maybe we just can't even be friends anymore. Thanks you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the autumn collection this year. This soap will be available in the Royalty Soap shop at royaltysoaps.com on October 18th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!